Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we're going to redo a plaque we did about a week ago, and I'll tell you why. If you've ever done any woodworking, you've noticed that for some strange reason, whenever you do something on wood, like this here, like it's pretty clean. This one is a lot cleaner than the previous one. There'll always be that one knot that you don't see, and that one knot will be at the exact spot you don't want it to be, and it ruins the whole piece. Now, the last time I did this here, it was actually a knot, and I didn't notice it, but it was exactly right over her face here. And I sent it out to the customer, and the customer looked at it and goes, "Hey, a second, you got a knot over her face and it looks kind of strange." And it actually did. So without any other question, I said, well, right away, okay, we'll do it again. Not a problem. And that's what this is here. Now, doing a project again is actually an opportunity because one, you fix the mistake that happened, but more specifically, you can go, well, from the last run we did with the photos you gave to us and so forth, I think we could probably find better photos. So it took about, 4 or 5 days, and the customer found better photos. And those photos are what we used for this. So not only everything in part of the plaque is relatively the same, but the photos are a lot better than last time. Again, this photo here is a little bit difficult to work with because it's a really old photo, and because the photo is roughly 50 years old. So because of that, the resolution is low, and the color sort of contrast is sort of rusty and muggy, and you're basically playing with mud, and you're trying to find some sharpness in mud, and it's really, really difficult. And the other photos are a little bit more modern, so you have a little bit more contrast. Camera technology has changed a lot in the last 50 years. So let's take a look at this plaque being laser engraved and cut. Now, you might be wondering, why do we make the pine plaques using pine? We can make them out of any wood species that you want. The reason for the pine is that it's pretty cost effective. We actually buy these laminated sheets of pine already pre-made. But if you wanted, let's say, this to be oak or mahogany or whatever other species, it's no longer obviously a pine plaque, it's now a mahogany plaque, but we can actually cut it out, seal it, and make a slab out of it, and then do basically the same process you see here. Now, we're not limited to just using a laser in the shop. We have a lot of other machinery too. So if you want to actually have some dimensional carving on it, in addition to or as a replacement to what the laser is already producing, that's not a problem at all. The nice thing about the laser is that it produces a contrast automatically. So there's no other extra process, meaning paint or dyes or that kind of stuff that need to be applied. And the engraving as well, because it's just charcoal, it will not fade, crack, or peel over time, unlike paint. So when it comes to making your custom plaque, there's a lot of different options when it comes to doing that. Now, something you want to keep in mind with custom plaques is that you do have issues with resolution. And what I mean by that is, if you send us a picture that's very, very muddy, this is why we ended up doing this one twice, because the initial picture is just very hard to produce contrast out of mud. And now they sent us a better picture, and it actually worked out better, so we just remade it and sent it to them. Now what you see here is I'm cutting out the outline of the finished plaque. And the pictures here, the one at the top is a lot older than the one at the bottom. We had to do a little bit of fixing for the bottom picture, but the top one took, again, quite a bit of time to fix up. It looks a little rough, but that's just because there's smoke and other stuff on the surface of the plaque right now. When it comes to creating the contrast, if you want more contrast, as you can see what's going on here, is you just go over it with the laser more than once. For the cutting process with pine, sometimes there's some little bit of grain that's harder, and you can stick to the plaque. And as a result, that's why, although the first pass of this cut all the way through the plaque, I just want to make absolutely sure that the plaque will come out easily. And that's why I'm cutting through it all over again. Now you'll notice one small change that I made when I did this one versus the other one. And that was the lines out here, the outline. This time around, instead of just using them as an engraving, so I'll basically engrave the whole thing in one shot, I decided to do as multiple shots. So this is engraved obviously here, 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 and here. And this is also engraved, but this is engraved using a cut line. And I use the same sort of idea when I do fiber laser etching on stainless steel. Because the process is so slow, anything I could move to a cut line where the laser just moves over the one area instead of across the whole sheet or the piece of plywood, I save a lot of time. And in this case here, I saved a little bit of time, not really that much, but you get a little bit sharper image because of that. So that's what I did this time around. Otherwise, it's the identical size, shape, everything like that. The only thing that changed were the two photos, and this version is definitely a lot better than the last version. And that's, I guess, the fun part of screwing up, but also fixing it and taking some lessons from that. So if you're looking for custom wall plaques, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make it for you and ship it right to your door.